Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Om Namo
Namo
Bhagavate
Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
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 Okay. So what were we discussing last time? Yes. We discussed a bit
14.
about,
We,
yeah,
we
we
went through,
touched 3 point. Yeah, sorry, go on.
we went through from 3 point, we went through, first few phrases of shlokas of chapter 3
Mhm.
from 3.1 to I think 3.12.
Did we touch 3.12? Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we did, Prabhuji. We completed, we did a revision of Tyag part from 3.1 to 3.9, definitely.
Okay.
And we kind of just stopped on 3.12 last time.
Did we touch 3.12? Or did we just refer to 3.14?
We just referred to 3.14 for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Annat Bhavati Bhutani. But
Yeah.
we did not read 11, 12, 13, right?
No, yeah, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's right.
Neither we learned anything about 3.10. So
Yeah.
we discussed about yoga ladder. Anyone recollects what is yoga ladder?
Yeah, the rungs, which we were talking about with the monkey story.
Yeah. So what was the first step of the yoga ladder, or the step on the ground floor, on the the first, not the first step, but pre-step before we start going on to the yoga ladder?
Mhm.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. Does anyone remember from last week Bhauma Sukha? Do you recollect this word called Bhauma Sukha? Okay. Do you recollect something called as enjoyment? What is the phases that we are going through? Work, earn,
Yeah, spend, pleasure.
spend, and enjoy.
Mm.
And did we touch anything on Karma Kanda? What is the difference between Bhauma Sukha and Karma Kanda? No. No one remembers anything? Anything that we discussed? No? Do you recollect these words which I'm talking about? Karma
Yeah, yeah.
Kanda,
Yep.
Bhauma Sukha. So what is Bhauma Sukha? Is Bhauma Sukha equal to Bhoga? कुछ तो बोलो यार.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Good. Yes. So what is Bhauma Sukha? How do you understand Bhauma Sukha or Bhoga?
So Bhoga is we do a certain karma to, so basically relating the same thing. Do the karma, earn and enjoy. We do it for ourselves.
Earn and enjoy. Okay. Earn and enjoy. Is there anything else in between?
Earn, spend and then enjoy.
Earn, spend, and enjoy. Is there something before earn?
The karma or
Yes, work. So only if you work, you'll earn, right? Can you earn without working?
no.
Is it possible? Unless you win a lottery. Yeah, it is rare, isn't it? So you have to work to earn, right? Correct?
Yep. Yes.
So work, earn, and then what's next after we earn?
Enjoy, which is Bhauma
Oh,
Sukha.
do we enjoy it just after earning?
So spend and then
Spend, right? So these are very minute but very important aspects of the whole Bhauma Sukha.
Mhm.
If we just say we earn and enjoy, if we just say we work and enjoy, it will not make sense. There are series of steps you perform in which you find enjoyment. The assumption is that when we work and we earn, and when we spend what we earn, there lies the enjoyment. Isn't that the thought process?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes or no? Anyone disagrees to this? Everyone agrees? That's what we go through. We learn that way. Yes.
Yes.
That spending on something which we like and buying something or getting the objects for our own pleasure gives us happiness. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So what was the next step after that? So this is Bhoma Sukha, Bhoga. What's the next understanding?
Next part we discussed was so the results of all of these different activities that we get, um, instead of thinking about it for our own pleasure, if we just do the activity for the pleasure of God or for the Supreme Godhead.
Is it the next step? Is it the first step of the yoga ladder after Bhoma Sukha?
Mm,
Yoga ladder, the first step is Tyaga in the tree.
So in the tree, Tyaga is tea. Now we are on the rungs of the yoga
Rang,
ladder.
yeah.
So on the rungs of the yoga ladder, the base part was Bhoma Sukha, correct?
Mm.
That is even not touching the first rung. The first
Okay.
thing is Bhoma Sukha, which is not yoga, but it is
Bhoga.
Bhoga. What is
Mhm.
yoga? What is Bhoma Sukha? What is Bhoga? Kalpesh, you also say something. What is Bhoma Sukha? Okay, you're not able to hear or no speak. You can hear, but you can't speak. Okay. Anyone else? Vishakha or Sushma? I think Sushma wasn't there last time. But even then, if you want to, what is Bhoga? What is Bhoma Sukha?
Yeah, we discussed it just now.
Yes.
Working,
Yes.
earning,
Yes.
and spending and enjoying
Yes.
is Bhuma Sukha or Bhoga. That's
Is
all,
that
for ourselves.
yeah? So
For
is that the process which is Bhoma Sukha?
I
No.
don't know if that's the process.
Okay.
But
Anyone think a little deeper? Think that what is Bhoma Sukha?
yeah,
What
by
is
the
Bhoga?
sound of it, it sounds like Bhoga means enjoying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
enjoy.
think
Yeah.
Bhoma Sukha is more of the enjoyment out of these processes that individual gets or
Okay.
or interprets again.
Very nice. Yeah, that is. See, this is the most
Interprets.
important thing, that there is nothing about right or wrong. It's
Mm.
about what is our thought process. The only way to check whether we are actually on the ground floor or on the first step of the yoga ladder is that what you think, not about what is written or what is philosophized or what is stated in the Shastra. It's nothing to do with that. It's what you actually are convinced of.
Mm.
So the general conviction is that if I work, if I earn, if I make money, if I spend that money on something that gives me sensual pleasures, is sukha, is happiness. That's called bhauma sukha.
Yep.
It is not the process itself, but the conviction that it will give me happiness. Is it making sense?
Yeah.
You mean Prabhuji
Yes.
happiness?
Sorry?
You mean the self happiness?
I don't know. You tell me. Is that self-happiness?
Looks like to me.
Okay, looks like to you. So that is
Yeah.
Bhoma Sukha to you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so Bhoma Sukha means that I'm convinced that these things will give me happiness. Not
Hmm.
if I tell you, yes, if I think that it does not, you should not take it that way, right? It's what you
Yeah.
feel is what you
Yes.
understand, what you are convinced. Correct?
Right.
Is what the definition is, isn't it?
Hmm.
See, we read a lot of definitions, right? We read a lot of philosophy. But until there is conviction, that is just a statement in the book. Correct?
Hmm.
If you are convinced, only then, if you understand how you get convinced, how the conviction happens.
It's like self-dependency, like how I take that thing into me.
Okay, so what is that process? What do you do?
Like could be anything, Prabhuji.
Just one word.
Perception.
Okay, there is one percep. How is perception built? अच्छा ठीक है, मैं आपके सामने दो चीज रखता हूँ, एक रसगुल्ला रखता हूँ और एक अच्छी तरह नहीं पकाया हुआ करेला रखता हूँ.
Experience.
रसगुल्ला एकदम फ्रेश बना हुआ आपके सामने रखा है और करेला भी फ्रेश बना हुआ लेकिन अच्छा नहीं बना हुआ है, कड़वाहट गई नहीं है उसकी, ऐसा मैं बता रहा हूँ, लेकिन यू आर नॉट श्योर. अप टू यू, व्हाट विल यू पिक अप टू ईट?
Rasgulla.
Absolutely. क्यों? Why?
Because it looking good and I prefer
Only looking
rasgulla
good?
than
No. It's not
no,
about preference. Why do you prefer rasgulla?
sweet is better than bitter thing.
No. That is okay. That is
Based on
philosophy.
past
You have
experience, it is
tasted that before.
registered. It is registered.
Yes. वो खाया है पहला, पता है कि ये अच्छा रहता है. It is sweet and tasty. ये philosophy है कि sweet is better than this. I understand. ये बहुत अच्छी बात है. हाँ? लेकिन तुमने किया क्या? तुमने खाया क्या?
Right.
अगर रसगुल्ला खाया नहीं जिसने, वो तो करेला भी उठाएगा ना. करेक्ट. और बाद में उसको समझेगा कि ये इतना कड़वा है और फिर रसगुल्ला. इमेजिन अ लिटिल किड हु हैज जस्ट बेबी हु हैज जस्ट स्टार्टेड टू ईट, उसके सामने रखो करेला और वो देखेगा क्या?
नहीं.
वो सीधा उठा के मुंह में डालेगा, राइट? एंड ही विल स्पिट आउट इफ ही डजंट लाइक इट, राइट? बट it may also happen that he likes Kerala. He doesn't like the rasgulla. The point is not about what is better. What is the point? Point क्या है? How do you build your perception? Based on your
experience.
Exactly. But this is the fundamental thing we don't apply when we read Bhagavad Gita or any Shastra or any Bhakti. उसमें हम लोग assumption पे चलते हैं. Very unfortunate. That ये लोग कर रहे हैं तो ठीक ही होगा. सब लोग जा रहे हैं धोती पहन के, कुर्ता पहन के, टीका लगा के, तो सारे के सारे पंडित होंगे, है कि नहीं? उनके साथ बैठ के मुझे भी थोड़ा ज्ञान मिल जाएगा. Isn't it? But have you practiced? अब उन्होंने जो बोला आपने ले लिया उसको, on the face value, on the धोती value, on the टीका value. हाँ, उस वैल्यू पे तुमने ले लिया उसको. आगे क्या? आगे पता पड़ा नहीं यार, तो रसगुल्ला नहीं है, ये तो करेला है. Then what is the way out? What is the solution? Solution is application. Okay. Put it on yourself. What is Bhama Sukha? Do you agree that this is happiness? If you agree, your conviction is that. Okay. That's why we have sadhus who have. Why sadhu? Who's a sadhu? साधु कौन होता है? 500 रुपए में बन जाता है साधु, 200 रुपए की धोती, 300 रुपए का कुर्ता। लेकिन साधु कौन होता है? Who's a साधु?
जो ज्ञान देता है एंड लेट अस नो
ज्ञान
व्हाट
देता
इज
है,
राइट।
ज्ञान जो देता है।
या
ओके, जो ज्ञान देता है।
ज्ञान देता है, हमको सिखाता है व्हाट इज व्हाट
अच्छा,
एंड
ओके, जो सिखाता है वो साधु, कि जिसने देखा है सच वो साधु?
जिसने साधना किया है वो साधु।
who
ये
practices through his own experience.
ये चीज जो हमको समझनी चाहिए ना, ये चीज। अब हमको कैसे पता पड़ेगा कि साधु है वो? ज्ञान देता है इसलिए साधु है? नहीं, राइट?
नो।
अगर उसने एक्चुअली ये सब अप्लाई किया है और एक्सपीरियंस किया है तो वो साधु। लेकिन हमको कैसे पता पड़ेगा कि वो साधु है?
I'm not sure if actually मेरे यहाँ पे बहुत बैकग्राउंड नॉइज है बीच बीच में ना. So
हाँ।
is it because of vairagya is a right word?
नहीं,
वैराग्य.
वैराग्य तो बहुत दूर की बात है। पहले ये तो पता पड़े कि हम साधु संघ में है कि नहीं। अगर मैं तुमको जो बता रहा हूँ वो मेरे फेस वैल्यू पे ले लोगे तुम लोग, जो मैं बोल दूं, कल को मैं कुछ बोल दूंगा ये तो एक्सेप्ट कर लोगे उसको? करना चाहिए? नहीं करना चाहिए ना। तो कैसे एक्सेप्ट करोगे? किस भगवत गीता को कैसे एक्सेप्ट करोगे? हाउ विल यू एक्सेप्ट भगवत गीता? हाउ विल यू अंडरस्टैंड भगवत गीता?
मतलब जो सुन रहे हैं, जैसे आप बता रहे हो, कह रहे हो, खुद जाके उसको अनुभव किए या फिर पढ़े।
एग्जैक्टली, आपको अनुभव करना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे। ये चीज अपने ऊपर लानी पड़ेगी कि भौम सुख क्या मेरे ऊपर, मैं क्या भौम सुख में बिलीव करता हूं, क्या करती हूँ? व्हाट इज भौम सुख फॉर मी? Do I think that this is actually what it is? This is how the happiness comes? Or is there something else? Is there something else अगर आता है ना दिमाग में, तो मतलब बुद्धि अभी थोड़ी सी आगे बढ़ी। नहीं तो we just accept,
Forcefully.
right? We accept, right? बचपन में when we grow up, किसी ने कहा पढ़ लिख लो सब ठीक हो जाएगा, है ना? स्कूल के बाद लाइफ अच्छी है, कॉलेज में जाओगे तो बड़ा मजा आएगा, गए कॉलेज में तो भी मजा नहीं आया, अरे यार कॉलेज में, कॉलेज खत्म हो गया ना, नौकरी मिल जाएगी तो मजा आएगा। उसके बाद फिर नौकरी कर ली, फिर भी मजा नहीं आ रहा है, क्या है? तो एक काम करो, अपना शादी कर लो, फिर सब ठीक हो जाएगा। अब उसके बाद तो सब आपको पता है कि नहीं? इट्स नॉट, देयर इज नो एंड टू एनीथिंग, राइट?
Yeah.
This is what Bhoma Sukha is, that we think that this will give me happiness. I work hard, I earn, I spend, I do all this is pleasure of life, and this will give me happiness. लेकिन वो actually होता है? You tell me.
No.
Anyone who thinks that it happens? Bhoma Sukha actually exists.
It's all temporary.
That's okay. It's okay. But the point is that, does it exist? Bhoma Sukha. Okay. When you say कि Bhoma Sukha, is bhoga, is giving me happiness, say for example happiness. Now we drill down. This is what we touched last time. That where do you get the happiness from? Where do you get the pleasure from? Is it the money that you earn? Or is it the resources that you buy from the money? कहाँ पे है सुख? कहाँ पे है? Anyone?
It's within us itself.
Okay.
I mean, we ourselves
No, in Bhoma Sukha itself, in Bhoga itself.
It's spending the money, the way we spend the money.
Okay, that is enjoyment, right?
That is enjoyment. That is where the sukha lies.
Yeah. Sometimes the fun is thinking about spending rather than actually spending.
Yes.
Or just seeing the money in the account is.
सफर खूबसूरत है मंजिल से भी. Sometimes the pleasure is in the thought of getting pleasure. One person got married to a very beautiful girl. Some really pretty girl he got married to, and he just how the generally arranged marriages happen, that you just meet once a girl, not much discussions, 1 or day, 2, your parents talk, and he got married. He just attracted, both of them attracted him and got married. The first night of the marriage, she told him, when you share things that, let's share something about each other. He shared about himself that I do this. She shared something. She said, I have a very small disease, very small. What is that? He said that when I get excited, I get fits. Mine, but I get fits. So I need to be away from excitement. अभी वो बंदा क्या सोच के शादी किया था? Or what is the thing you tell me now? The moment they get attracted to each other, she gets fits. I'm just giving, this is the real time thing. Now, where did the happiness lie actually for this person?
In the thoughts.
उधर ही हो गया. Actually कुछ हुआ नहीं. So this is generally the case. Now again the question comes back, where is the pleasure then? Where is the pleasure? Where is the satisfaction?
Mind and thoughts.
So it is not in that. It is actually when you receive something from the resources, only then you get pleasure. Now, if at all, that was perfectly everything okay, the girl was perfectly okay, no diseases, then it's a different thing altogether. But what does it depend on? That's where karma kanda comes into picture. Now, you may have a lot of money. Okay. But say, for example, there is no grains in the market. There are no vegetables in the market because of severe drought, which has happened. We discussed that also last time. If that is the case, where is the pleasure? Is the pleasure in the money you won?
No.
It's in the enjoyment is, the pleasure is in the resources you get. So when we go to karma kanda, that is one step above bhauma sukha, that is the first step of yoga ladder. Karma kanda means what? Earn, but don't buy to pleasure, because buying is not from the supermarket. The resources are provided by whom? Who gives you grains?
Rain.
Rains.
Godhead.
And the rains are provided by the Supreme. Okay. So when you think that deeper, your buying is gone from there. Work, earn. Buying is replaced by praying. Then you think that who provides me the grains? Who provides me all these resources? Okay. A person has diseases or no, who has the actual control over it? Someone, right? We don't even know how digestion happens in our body, do we? Only when there is indigestion we come to know that there is digestion process. नहीं तो deeply सोचते नहीं हम लोग, खाया सब ठीक है. Okay. Yes, all our organs are functioning. Everything is working fine, correct? But it may not be the case, right? Forever.
Yeah.
So where is that control? वो किधर है? वो सारा ऑटोमेशन, जो ऑटोमेशन है हमारे बॉडी में, सब अपने आप जो चीजें हो रही हैं, हाथ हिला रहे हैं, सर हिला रहे हैं, कई लोग नहीं हिला पाते. वो कैसे हो रहा है? This thought brings in the understanding of some superpower than just our work and earning and buying capacity. Is it making sense?
Yeah.
Anyone? Questions or thoughts?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
You mentioned yagna last time. What is
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
is that connection?
Yeah. Yeah. So that is the next step. If you have understood this, जो भी खिचड़ी पकाया अभी last 15-20 मिनट में हम लोग.
So I would probably add this way. We spoke about Jiva and Prakriti. Now this is the third aspect of it, Paramatma or Parmeshwar, which
Yeah.
we have to consider definitely, which is explained detail further.
Very nice. Yeah. Yeah. Good thought. Yes. So when we think about this, that who is actually the giver, who is actually providing me something, when we think that, then the thought process is that how do I approach that power in order to receive the resources? Is it making sense? ये thought process सही है?
Yes.
किसी को कोई doubt यहाँ पे? Everything sailing in the same boat? Yeah. So work, earn, buy, but do not expect that will give me pleasure. Instead, depend on the Supreme. You still want to enjoy. अभी ऐसा नहीं है कि शारीरिक सुख नहीं चाहिए. थॉट प्रोसेस वही है कि अल्टीमेटली मुझे सुख ही चाहिए, हैप्पीनेस, बॉडीली प्लेजर्स चाहिए मुझे. लेकिन अभी क्या हो गया थर्ड स्टेप में, सिर्फ बाइंग और उसके ऊपर डिपेंडेंसी नहीं है, एक अदर डिपेंडेंसी है, वो है सुप्रीम, कि द प्रोविजनर एक्चुअली इज समवन एल्स. I can earn, but I cannot buy until it is provisioned. Yes or no? Anyone has a doubt in that?
No.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, good. So this process, when there is a dependency on some supreme, is called karma kand. Karma kand. So that we depend on someone, Krishna explains that when you are in that thought process, that when you want this, then the process of requesting the resources from the Supreme is called yajna. Okay, yajna. So yajna is sacrifice. Yes, or yajna is a process. What is yajna?
Sacrifices.
Yeah. So what is sacrifice? Yajna. What is tyaga?
Doing something that you do not expect anything in return.
यार ये मेरे को ना समझ में नहीं आता है. It's a philosophy. Actually क्या होता है? त्याग. What is त्याग or yajna also? What is that त्याग? So what are we doing in this कर्म कांड? कर्म कांड में हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? भौम सुख के अलावा what are we doing? You guys with me, everyone?
Yes.
तो भौम सुख के अलावा हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं कर्म कांड में?
We have faith in another entity.
Okay, that's very good point. Your faith, very nice. What else are we doing?
We are sacrificing the pleasure for any karma we do for the Supreme.
अरे नहीं, sacrifice का pleasure कहाँ sacrifice किया? Pleasure तो चाहिए ना. कर्म कांड में pleasure तो चाहिए ना. Sacrifice pleasure कहाँ किया अभी?
Trading कर रहे हैं.
हाँ, लेकिन वो क्या है? क्या चीज है जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं? What are we? What is that aspect जिसको हम लोग यज्ञ बोल रहे हैं, त्याग बोल रहे हैं? वो क्या है चीज जो भौम सुख से अलग. भौम सुख में क्या होता है? What is in bhoga?
Everything we're doing for ourselves.
That is even in karma kand. It's the same.
In karma card, you're trying to do something. I'll do some good deed, I'll get some return.
No, we don't do that in karma kand. किसने बोला ये?
So in karma card, any good deed we do, कुछ किसको
No. That is different altogether. That is a reaction of your karma. This is not karma
Yeah.
kand. So bhauma sukha is bhoga. So bhoga is you work, you earn, you buy and you enjoy. You don't care about anything. You just do this bit. I will work hard. I will make a lot of money and I'll buy all the resources and I'll enjoy. घर बनाऊंगा बड़ा, बड़ी गाड़ी लूंगा, ये कर सब मेरे ऊपर है. सेल्फ सेंटर्ड ही हो अभी भी, सेल्फ एंजॉयमेंट ही है अभी भी कर्म कांड में भी. लेकिन व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस? वी जस्ट डिस्कस दैट, राइट? क्या किया हमने कर्म कांड में? व्हाट डिड वी डू एक्स्ट्रा व्हिच वाज नॉट देयर इन भौम सुखा?
We spoke about work, earn and spend, but we forgive the last part of pleasures.
नो. अरे यार तुम लोग ना सुन नहीं रहे हो ध्यान से.
We don't forget it. That receiving portion is dependent on the provider.
Very nice. We don't buy. We don't think that we can buy everything. We think that we cannot buy everything until it is provisioned by the Supreme. Try to understand. थोड़ा deep है. थोड़ा ध्यान से सुनना पड़ेगा ये. बहुत minute चीजें हैं. लेकिन ये अगर समझ में आ गया ना, then yoga ladder will be very easy. ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है. ये डिफरेंस पता होना चाहिए हर किसी चीज में. नहीं तो क्या सब, नहीं तो वो एक ही वो सारे रास्ते तो भगवान की तरफ जाते हैं. ऐसा नहीं होता. अब मेरे को एयरपोर्ट जाना है, कोई भी रास्ता पकड़ो एयरपोर्ट पहुंच जाऊंगा क्या? नहीं. तो हर एक चीज का एक एक अलग अलग एस्पेक्ट है, महत्व है हर चीज का. भोग का अलग महत्व है, कर्म कांड का अलग महत्व है, उपासना का अलग महत्व है. इस हर किसी चीज का अलग अलग महत्व है. तो दिस इज हाउ वी विल गो इन द योगा लैडर. So be very, very thoughtful in this yoga ladder. Try to understand it very, analytically. एक एक चीज को समझो. तो अगर समझ में आ गई ये बात तो योगा ladder easy हो जाएगा. Otherwise, it gets very complicated. So what is Bhoma Sukha? Again, coming back to it. What is Bhoma Sukha yoga? Earning, buying, spending, and enjoying. That's it. There is no God in there. हो भी सकता है. But the conviction is that I am everything. Okay? This makes sense?
Yeah.
What is Karma Kanda? Karma Kanda is, I'll define again. Karma Kanda means you work, you earn, but you do not think that I can buy my happiness. The resources or the provisioning of all the ingredients, all the material things, they are all in the hands of Supreme. उधर से मिलेगा मुझे तो ही मैं enjoy कर पाऊंगा. Ultimately enjoy ही करना है. So what is that aspect which went away? Buying. Buy चला गया. Buy करता हूं मैं, लेकिन ये thought process से कि ये मिल कहां से रहा है मुझे. See, if you ask a child, where do you get the grains from? What will be the child's answer? Supermarket. बराबर?
Yeah.
But where do the actual grains come from? From the soil, right?
Hmm.
And if there are no rains, if there is no sunlight, will there be grains?
No.
कहां से आएगा सुपरमार्केट में? So can you buy?
No.
Exactly, the buying चला जाता है उसमें से. Try to understand this very carefully. संभाल के देखो इसको, कि संभाल के सोचो कि buying अगर चला गया मेरा, तो what am I depending on? Supreme, right?
Lord, yeah.
Yes.
Correct? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone agrees on this?
Yes.
Yeah. So karma kanda. What is karma kanda? Again, what is karma kanda?
buying depends on the Supreme.
Very good. Buying does not depend on the Supreme. The buying is not available basically. The provisioning depends on the Supreme. So if there is something, I'll get it. Otherwise not. Now, how do we get it is the second part. First part is that the thought that I cannot buy until it is available. Correct?
Yeah.
And what makes it available is yajna.
Yajna.
ये बात समझ में आई? You understand what is yajna now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is yajna? Tell me.
Yajna is a way where we can reach to Supreme to get the work done. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yes, correct. So what is that? यज्ञ का translation क्या है यज्ञ का?
Request.
Request, yes. What is the other translation of yajna? Sacrifice. Sacrifice, right? Sacrifice is yajna. तो वो sacrifice किसका है? क्या है वो sacrifice?
Putting ourselves in front of God.
Putting ourselves in front of God.
Yeah. Just now we discussed like what is that word?
हिंदी में बोल दो, कोई बात नहीं. विशाखा, कल्पेश, do you want to add something?
It is sacrifice of your material possession.
Is it?
It is. How will you perform yajna?
I don't know. You tell me.
What do you sacrifice? That which you have.
What do you sacrifice? Question. Bolo. What is that you sacrifice?
Yeah, I would give my example. I do Ekadashi Prabhuji now last 4 or 5 years. So that day it's more of sacrificing food to chant God's names.
Very nice.
Think more about him.
But that is not a part of karma kanda.
Yeah,
it could be. It could be. It could be. You're right. You want something. That's why you're doing this. It could be. But what is that you're sacrificing in karma kanda? Abhi, we have discussed that, but
desire.
The gist of what desire? What desire?
Desire for enjoying what you currently have for getting something more.
No. You enjoy anyways. You give up something to getting something more is nahi. वो getting तो enjoyment ही चाहिए अपने.
Yeah,
resources ही चाहिए. Resources चाहिए अपने. Sacrifice क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं? It's a very simple thing. Try to understand this. The sacrifice is actually of the thought कि मैं buy कर सकता हूँ. I'm not the owner. I'm the receiver.
Yes.
Owner is someone else. ये जो thought है ना, ये अंदर हमारे अगर ये आता है ना, ये चीज उसको जब हम sacrifice कर देंगे, नहीं यार, मैं नहीं हूं ये. It is the Lord who provides me this. That is called yajna. It's very deep. ये actual practical implementation है ये उसका. खाली बोलने से नहीं होगा. ये करने से समझ में आए. Is it making sense?
No, if I give a very simple example, Prabhuji, we do blood donation.
Yeah.
Now we donate blood is a thought which is in our mind or body also, if we relate, and we're doing that so that blood can be used by someone else, basically.
Very nice. Yeah.
Now, will this be called a sacrifice or yajna?
You tell me.
Because this is just out of humanity, or
You tell me.
Not because of getting कि भाई कुछ अच्छे कर्म भगवान से मिले इसलिए नहीं, just out of humanity to help the community.
You tell me. I mean, whether it is a yajna or not. You tell me.
I would say blood donation is not.
It comes under Bhauma
What is that?
Yeah, self-happiness, Bhoma.
But karma kanda is also self-happiness.
But karma kand has the thought process of God involved.
Exactly. Now in this, the twist you are giving, Prabhuji, is we should not think that this blood donation is you are doing for some good deed. That thought process will be yajna.
Completely up to you. How do I, what conviction do you have on this? You know, what conviction you have is your own thing. But what Bhagavad Gita says, what Krishna says, is that when you think that it is not me or mine, when you give up the thought process of ownership, that sacrifice is called yajna. The thought of ownership. ये मेरा है, मैं ये कर सकता हूं, ये मैं खरीद सकता हूं. You know, so when you think that way, that is bhoga. But when you think that no, it's not mine, of course I'm earning, I want to enjoy, of course I want to enjoy, but I think the giver is someone else. And that thought process, every time I have it in my mind, no, the giver is someone else. The giver is not me. The moment you think that, so the question is that how, भगवान को कैसे प्राप्त करते हैं? मतलब भगवान देखा है कभी? Have you seen God? You know, people ask this question. This is the way, this is the process by which you can go closer to God and eventually see Him. So the thought process that no, I am not the owner. He's the one. He provides me everything. Actually, He provides everything. Whatever supreme you think. So that is karma kanda. And for that, people do various things. Like yajna is a process. Is that you lit up fire and you give ahuti of a lot of things. That process is also yajna. See, starting with the first demigod, Agni, Jalvayu, then you go Chandra, Indra, and all those things, and you go up till Vishnu. This is all yajna process. But in today's times, if you want to do a yajna, whom do you need to do yajna? First thing, who can do yajna?
Brahman.
A Brahman or a sadhu, right? अभी वो मिलेगा प्योर ब्राह्मण
नहीं,
जो एकदम प्योरिटी से मंत्र उच्चारण करेगा और उसका इफेक्ट होगा? बंदे नहीं. और नेक्स्ट उसके बाद सैंडलवुड यूज करते थे पहले, ओरिजिनल वुड, ओरिजिनल वुड भी नहीं मिलेगा. उसके बाद ओरिजिनल घी मिलेगा, ओरिजिनल ग्रेन्स, ऑर्गेनिक एकदम सारे के सारे मिलेंगे जो डालोगे?
नो,
नॉट एट ऑल.
तो कैसे करोगे ये यज्ञ? हाँ, वो प्रोसेस कैसे करोगे? करते हैं हम लोग, लेकिन कृष्ण से बाय यज्ञ rain comes straight away. And this actually used to happen in the previous yogas because there were pure brahmanas, pure everything, और मंत्र भी उच्चारण प्योर. सारी प्योरिटी के साथ अगर ब्राह्मण यज्ञ करता है तो उसका रिजल्ट इंस्टेंटली मिलता था. You don't get it now. So what were the actual work of all the different varna? Brahman would perform the yajna. The Kshatriya will provide all the resources. I mean, of course, resources are provided by the Supreme, but he will organize all the resources and give it to the Brahmana. That was his job. That's what the kings used to do. If you read all our Shastra, this is what used to happen. They will organize this and they will call the Brahman to do the yajna. The Brahman will do the yajna. Organization will be, administration will be under the Kshatriya. Yeah. What will Vaishya do? Vaishya will provide all the financial resources for the yajna. And what will Shudra do? Shudra will do all the hard work required, the leg work, hand work, everything required to perform the yajna. All the Varnas were actually doing this. That's why there was no problem. No climate changes. Yeah. No global warming, no issues of these, all these things which we go across in today's times. Unfluctuating weathers, this, that, whatnot. No rains, droughts, tsunamis. Although there were things like that there, but yajna was more. Okay, purity in the yajna was. So this is the process by which you can perform the karma kanda. Karma kanda means receiving everything from the Supreme by performing yajna. So we will read from 3.10 now. I'll share my screen with you. Let me know once you're able to see. Yeah. So this is 3.10. Please repeat after me. Sahayagya pragyaha srishtva
Sahayagya pragya srishtva
rovacha prajapati
Urovacha prajapatihi
anena prasavishyadvameshavam
Anena savishadveshvam
eshavostva ishtakamadhu
Eshavusva ishtakamadu
Sahayajna prajaha srishtva
Sahayagya pragya srishtva
purovacha prajapati
Urovacha prajapatihi
anena prasavishyadvameshvam
Anena prasavishadvam
eshavostva ishtakamadhu
Esavusva ishtakamadu
Sahayajna praja srishtva
Sahayagya pragya srishtva
purovacha prajapati
Urovacha prajapatihi
anena prasavishya dham
Anena
Anena
prasavishadvam
eshavostva ishtakamadhu
Esavostva ishtakamadu
Kamadhok.
In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creatures sent forth generations of men and demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu and blessed them by saying, "Be thou happy by this yajna." Because performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. This is 3.10. The gist of what we have discussed so far. You understand what is yajna now? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is what actually Krishna, beginning of creation, sent forth generations of men. Now, who's the Lord of creation? Lord of all creatures?
Brahma.
Very
Brahma.
good. Very good. So demigods along with sacrifices for Vishnu. So what is this along with sacrifices for Vishnu?
Is it the resources?
Now, we just discussed this a minutes before. What is the sacrifice? What is the sacrifice?
Thought process.
Yes, what thought process?
That we are not the proprietors, Prabhu, the owners.
Yes.
Yeah, we are not the owners.
So this is the sacrifices for Vishnu.
Mhm.
That basically everything is provided by him, the thought process. So anything I do for the yajna, it should be the pleasure for Vishnu, so that I receive things. What is 3.9? This is 3.10, correct? Please don't look at the verse. Just tell me the gist of the verse. Previous verse. What is 3.9? Okay, I'll give you a clue. Yagyarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Anyone remembers 3.9?
Work causes bondage, karma bandhana, which is saying, is what I understand.
Okay,
Word.
let's read. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yagyarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. It says that work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Okay. This is a very high understanding. But what are we trying to understand here is yajna. Okay. So yajna can help you enjoy, as well as the yajna will be able to help you achieve liberation. So that's a power of yajna. So this is the concept which needs to be understood going forward in Karma Yoga. Yajna. Okay. So we are at what stage of the yoga ladder at the moment?
Karma card.
With
Karma Kanda. The first step.
First rung.
Yeah, first rung. Let's read now 3.11. Devan bhavayatane Devan
Devana
bhayatanena
Bhavayatanena
Tadeva bhavayantu vaha
Tadeva
bhavayantu vaha
parasparam bhavayantah shreya
Paras
parasparam bhavayantah
Parasparam
Parasparam
bhavayantaha
bhavayantaha
Shreya param avapstha yatha.
Shreya param
param
vapsya
Yatha
Devan bhavayantan tatena.
Devan
Devan
bhavayatanena
Bhavayatanena.
So I think there is a difference in the Hindi and the Sanskrit here. That is the reason we are not able to read it properly. See what is the problem. And a person who's only reading English will be fine with this verse. But a person reading only Hindi, only the Devanagari will be fine with the script. So you see this one, Devan Bhavayatatena. And then here it is Devan Bhavayatanena. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
So it's a printing fault, but what we will think that this one would be the correct one.
Yeah.
So we will read this one. Anyone who doesn't know Devanagari can refer to this one, but this is the correct one. That would be my guess. Devan bhavayatatena.
Devan
Bhavayatatena
Bhavayatatena.
Te deva bhavayantu vaha.
Te
Deva
Deva
bhavayantu
Vaha
vaha
Paraspam bhavayantah.
Parasparam
Parasparam
Bhavayantaha
bhavayantaha
Shreya param avapsyatha.
Shreya
param
param avapsyah.
See, this is better if you only read Devanagari, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
Devan bhavayatatena
Devan
Bhavayatatena
bhavyatatena.
te deva bhavayantu vaha
Te
Deva
Deva
bhavayantu
Bhava
vaha.
parasparam bhavayantah
Parasparam
Yantaha
bhavayantaha.
Shreyah param avapsyatha.
Shreya
Shreya param
Param
avapsyah.
The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you. And thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all. So what is this verse saying? What is this verse saying? That by yajna, yes.
Yeah. Prabhu, that by yajna, when demigods are pleased, ultimately we will be pleased too.
Yeah. So what is the aim of this? All yajna is
To please.
self-enjoyment. Self-enjoy. The aim is to self-enjoy. This is karma kanda. Where are we at? On the first step of the ladder. Correct? What is this? For what are we doing this? For our own self. Yeah. Karma kanda is still our own self. Karma kanda is not higher thought at the moment. It is only simple that the only difference between Bhoma Sukha, Bhoga and the Karma Kanda is that we have started performing Yajna. The sacrifice is given out that I am not the owner, someone else is the owner. And I have to receive it by performing that Yajna. Now, when here the performance of Yajna is specified, then it is the Yajna giving Ahuti into the various demigods to please all the demigods in the whole lineage, okay, which is given here in the purport. So we will read the purpose. The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs. Okay, this is the understanding. So demigods, all the demigods, you have Surya, Chandrama, Indra, Vayu, all these demigods, they are empowered administrators of material affairs. They are not in a Vaikuntha, or they are not spiritual. They are also part of the material world. Okay, understand this very clearly. Is it making sense? Yes.
Yes.
So they are nothing but they are like the officers. Like the government has officers who have administrative rights. Like, finance minister or this, they have the rights to give those kind of things to people. So the supply of air, light, water, and all other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul of every living entity is entrusted to the demigods, who are innumerable assistants in different parts of the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See how beautifully explained, Vachila Prabhupada. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent on the performance of yajnas by the human being. Some of the yajnas are meant to satisfy particular demigods, but even in doing so, Lord Vishnu is worshipped in all yajnas as the chief beneficiary. Beneficiary of the
Yajna.
yeah, of the yajna. Correct. Very good. So how do you understand this part? I'll explain it with an analogy. So there may be many different sections in a government, but ultimately the central government will be the beneficiary, correct? So all the different bodies or the little sections of the government, they are formed in this. So you can imagine as Vishnu being the central government and the others being a parts of this particular main government. Okay. Ultimately, when you pay your taxes, so what you are doing basically, what do? You pay electricity bill, you pay water bill, you pay your council rates to live, to all these things. Yeah. Similarly, you're paying for sunlight, for air, for this in the form of
Yagya.
exactly. So you understand that as your payment. Now imagine if you don't do that, what does the government do to you?
Services will be stopped.
No, that is one thing, yes. But they just don't stop it, right?
They'll give
They
a warning.
can, no, what is the person called? He's a thief, he's a criminal, right? If he breaches something, he doesn't do anything as per if he doesn't pay up, if he doesn't do, he's breaching, he's not paying. So if we take all the resources and we do not do yagya, we are the thieves. Understand this. That is karma kanda. It is stated also in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna himself is the beneficiary of all kinds of yagyas. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam. He will say further in Bhagavad Gita. That means all the kind of yagyas, the ultimate beneficiary is him. Therefore, ultimate satisfaction of the yagyapati is the chief purpose of all yagyas. When these yagyas are perfectly performed, naturally, the demigods in charge of the different departments of supply are pleased, and there is no scarcity in the supply of natural products. Okay. So this is the understanding of karma kanda. Okay, we'll end our discussion here, but we'll continue discussing on karma kanda still more. But this is the fundamental understanding. If you understand this, further journey of karma kanda will be easier. Okay. Stop sharing now. Any questions or comments?
Prabhu, just one question. So, Prabhu, when we do activities to please demigods, and it says that Krishna is the Yagyapati, the chief enjoyer or chief beneficiary of the sacrifices, Prabhu.
Yep.
So, when we are pleasing demigods, are we pleasing Lord Krishna, and that is how we are getting pleased?
Ultimately, Krishna is getting pleased. That's what he says.
Okay, and then it says that it pleases us, Prabhu. So, is it that Lord Krishna is in us, and we feel satisfied too?
So if it is understood that he has to be pleased, then why go through demigods, right?
Yes.
That's our intelligence, right? So
Exactly.
if you have directly access to the prime minister, why would you go through the others?
Yeah, the ministers.
But again, it's up to you. It's your understanding. If you can understand that, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam, that means every yagya goes to Krishna, then why not I directly do the sacrifice for him? That's one understanding. Another understanding is that if the demigods is also going to them, then let me get pleased by the demigods. Let me get through them. So it's your understanding. How do you want to go for it? How do you want to implement it? Your conviction.
And Prabhu, whether we offer it to demigods or to Lord Krishna directly, then it will please our senses as well, Prabhu. That is what it says in the 3.10.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yes, Prabhu, it says that if you do an activity to please them, ultimately, it will please us. Like our senses will be satisfied too.
The question is whether does it or not. Question is what is this process called?
Sacrificing, Prabhu. I mean, doing the work as a sacrifice. Like thinking that we are not the proprietors. Lord Krishna is a proprietor. And whatever we are doing to please him.
But why?
Because if he'll be pleased, Prabhu, we'll be satisfied too.
I don't know. You tell me.
Prabhu, I mean,
So what are we? What yoga ladder are? What step of yoga ladder are we on?
Karma Kand.
So what does karma kand based on?
Doing work as sacrifice. To like, otherwise it becomes work bondage.
Oh my God, Krishna Murari.
No, the thought process of I am not the owner.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu. I saw it only and I was, yeah. So I'm not the
Why
owner
are
with
we
that.
doing karma kanda?
To enjoy.
Oh, pleasure.
Exactly.
Pleasure.
Okay.
See,
Enjoy.
hang on. The problem is that we mix up these things. Keep
Yes,
it separate. Keep separate. Don't think that every verse is talking about bhakti.
Got you, Prabhu.
No, yeah. Very important.
Yeah, because
प्रॉब्लम
then
ये
we
है
mix
हमको
it up.
हर किसी को ना उससे कनेक्ट करना है कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी है ये सारी मेरे को सीधा ये लिबरेशन कर देगा सीधा मेरे को वैकुंठ पहुंचा देगा ये तरीका है सब हर कोई वर्स वो नहीं बोलता इसलिए बोलता हूँ हर कोई रास्ता एयरपोर्ट नहीं जाएगा अंडरस्टैंड द वर्स एज इट इज the verses which we are reading at the moment are related to karma kanda. Krishna is explaining what is karma kanda. What is karma kanda? We have just gone to the definition.
Right.
Do you have any doubts in karma kanda?
No, Prabhu. I think Prabhu just need to read it again, reiterate,
Very
so
nice.
it gets into our head before
That
the
is
next
one.
class.
I think there is one thing which is among the whole group. We can stop recording now, Kalpesh, if that's okay.
Prabhuji.
Thank you.